Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Techo Kaigi 2023-4. Let me put on some music and we can get started there. Yes. Let's listen to some XG, Winter Without You, to get into that holiday vibe. Good morning, Nerdygram. Hello, Peachy Green Paper. Only 7. 7 heaven. 7, 11. That's the theme of today. April's Techo Kaigi. So you can see here I have several books here. Technically, I wouldn't call it like a planner thing, but more of like the journal notebook collection Techo Kaigi. Because it's I realize I've been putting the wrong title. Oh, the music's a little loud. Putting the wrong title on my YouTube channel because I always just like randomly addresses every one of my book as planners. But really, I have journals. I have journals and notebooks. Not all of them are planners. And I'll go through them today as well. But thank you, Joy, for the raid. Hello. Okay, I'm really getting confused by my overlay here. Okay. Thank you for raiding with a party of 31. Welcome to my stream. My name is April, also known as Penguins Creative. And today, I'm going to talk through my Techo Kaigi, my books for 2023, books I'm using for 2024, and after this, we're gonna raid our friend Mr. Michael West there, here, over there. But first, hello A-Dub. Oh, man attack! Not the naked, but okay, now that really can't go on YouTube anymore. Hello, those with words. Hello, Marley. Hello, Raven Blackheart. Raven Planner. Hello, Yannick Curry. Hello, Broken Halo. Yay, hello, Disaster Piece. And hello, here, the Thea. And hello, B-Note. Hello, Techo by Tori. Miss you. See my initials if you ever saw your first letter. Hello, Scientist Plants, and hello, Xira. Welcome to the stream. I know AW is also the short for the root beer, so. So hi everyone. Lots of books you see here. Last year's Techo Kaigi was a long one. We came to the conclusion that I only had 7 books, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's the 7th? Oh, the Traveler's Notebook was the 7th one. These two technically count as one. So last year it was 7. The covers may look a little different. Oh my god, this is such a bad look right now. Let me just kind of stack them correctly. So these were the 7 things I used last year. And I'm gonna walk through them very quickly. And I did also like write down notes so it's easier to talk about them. Furrier Lab, that's right. So yeah, and I have 90 minutes. Let's hope I could do it in an orderly manner. So I'm gonna use my plotter, my Bible size plotter, which is my planner, personal planner, because this is also where I kept note of the comparison of last year's list and this year's list. It looks like a Stafford. Yeah. So last year I had hello, One to Explore. Welcome to the stream. Last year I had the Hobonichi Cousin avec. Well, this year. 2023, I used the Hobonichi Cousin avec, the Traveler's Notebook, plotter, Bible size, what you're seeing here, plotter A5 size, really shiny. My Shiranami leather is so glossy right now. But actually, I was using the Licio Black A5. I had the Furrier Lab right here from Taiwan, Tomoe River paper, really beautifully bound B6 size. I had the Hobonichi Weeks in the gloriously cafe theme that they did for this year. And Plotter Narrow, which is this plotter here. Plotter in the narrow size for my initial for my finance planning. Also a very glossy one. Oh, I just realized I didn't have my lights on. That's why it felt a little dark. There we go. Alright. I'm going to keep this as a reference here. And we will walk through what worked and what didn't. But I'm happy to report that, you know, being in this hobby for so long, I've started journaling in high school, but really got into it in 2012, 2013, 2014. And after all this time, I've really know what I like and what I use, and I was able to be very consistent in many of them, especially the tried and true Hobonichi Cousin Avec. This is actually my, I think, 8th year going strong with my Hobonichi Cousin Avec. And as you can see, I used the half-year books, which is called the Avec, and I really decorated the covers up, and they are filled to the brim. Almost every single page, Hobonichi, almost daily. This is the one for the second half, and I switch covers on whims, and I have come to acquire a lot of covers throughout my many years of using Hobonichi, because each year when they release new ones, I can't help but get new ones. But it's kind of nice. It's kind of like outfits, because the more I collected, the more I was able to switch them out based on my, like, you know, favorite of the season or something like this. And like, actually, I bought this this plain color cover late this year because I was feeling like I wanted something a little bit more bright, and I paired it with this is the cover on cover from last year, actually, with the Lily of the Valley. And so the Hobonichi Cousin was obviously my daily journal, and I will flip through it carefully because I really write a lot of things in them. Sometimes not so happy things, sometimes offensive things, sometimes addresses from postcards I collect, but also documenting things that goes on in my life, that goes on in my family's life, goes on in my friends' lives. It really is a snapshot of, you know, what I've been through. Late lunch? Chelsea, that's really late. It's like a early dinner. But enjoy. And I've really just built up the habit of writing in them almost every day. Not necessarily every day, but sometimes I catch up 2 to 3 pages at once. Or I really enjoy spending time on the weekends doing cafe journaling, and then just kind of keeping up with what went down for the week. So, you know, using stickers, drawings. I really like incorporating illustrations, doodles, and actually this year I really wanted to like fall back to how I've been using Hobonichi from the beginning, which is to doodle a lot more. So it was very enjoyable to incorporate my little watercolor doodles again in my Hobonichi. And then obviously tip-ins, lots of tip-ins. Oh, this is the cherry blossom. If it's close to my birthday, those spreads go wild. Tip-in galore. Because I just document way too many things. So it really is like kind of the culmination of exciting things that happens throughout my year. And I am thinking about doing something to add to how I journal next year in my Hobonichi so that I can better better look back at these books, because it's obviously fun to flip through one page by one page, but I realize I'm missing an important aspect that allows me to enjoy the book after the fact. So I'll talk a little bit about that when I talk about next year's setup. Like some days, they're just empty and I just put labels on them. Like this one's a postcard from Judy, and like a cheese label. Not every page have to be filled. I really made peace with that, and whatever is blank just means there's nothing that special, and whatever is filled means that there's something really fun. And I love using all kinds of mediums on this: watercolor, gel pens, pencils, fountain pens, brush pens, color pencil. Just like there's no rules with my Hobonichi. It is the peak of my pyramid, as I often say, in like the hierarchy of importance of all my stationery things. So all the good things that I collect, that I want to remember the most, actually goes into the Hobonichi first, and then Traveler's Notebook second. So yeah, things like that. And sometimes I even make big pockets to put bigger things in there. Oh, like this is from. And I realized one thing I've been doing this year is that on days when I went on a trip for several days, and then obviously I can't lug my Hobonichi along with me, I would come back to like consecutive blank pages. And then for those days, I just don't force myself to rewrite everything. Instead, I just filled it with photos, because maybe that week of travel is best when it is documented or like shown as a photo. It speaks 1,000 words, or so they say. And so like this is my trip earlier this year to San Diego, and although I did write, I put in the photos first because I wanted to recognize those little moments that I capture with my phone immediately when I flip back. And here's another intense flip through thingy, and as you can see, it gets harder and harder to flip through towards the end of the year. And then you have like really this is like I didn't know what I was gonna write, so I'm just gonna draw a picture of my dog Cookie kind of days. Yeah, this one's a long one too. So like this page, I just went overboard and decorated with stuff, and I added the writing on Tomorrow River paper afterwards and tipped that in. So a lot of creative explorations in my Hobonichi, extending all the way to the second year as well. And so I have like 20 of these sitting in like a big tub of like, what do you call those? Containers in my wardrobe. So if there's a fire in my house, I have to muster the energy to go lug that thing down the stairs with me. So maybe now that I think about it, maybe I need to just like put my passport and important documents in that container as well. So it would just be a one shot, like I grab my Hobonichis and my important documents too, so like this one. I got a nice recognition from my company from the Japan side, and they sent it like some prize money for me in an envelope, and I kept the envelope. So things like this. And then obviously I forgot to journal back there. Earlier this year, July was kind of like a blur for me, so I haven't had the chance to really go back. But I had some good times sketching, really kind of making my Hobonichi the traveler's notebook in a way where I just extend that that mentality of like keeping ephemera, keeping scraps, and putting them all together on a page. And sometimes I just take it to meetups and I swatch inks too. And that day just is like ink swatching on one page. Some days it's just full page writing, nothing. Maybe I wrote about something sensitive in here, most likely. fanboiling moments, postcards from friends. I really like to keep postcards that friends sent to me, so I have a separate kind of like photo album for it. But for those that are like really really good, they go into my Hobonichi because it's worth it. So this one's drawn by our friend Toasty Treat, who can't stream this week. Maybe, I don't know, but hopefully we get to see her stream. Yeah, lots of fanboiling, boying towards the end of this year. Kind of going back to the basic with some drawings, and then just intense travel photo tipping bomb right here when a friend came to visit me in October. So when I used to share my Hobonichi at like workshops and stuff, I really enjoyed those moments when I get to do a lot of these flip outs because I just do so many. One example was the most recent one that I did for Japan. Chelsea, we are matching. Also went to Japan, had this amazing omakase, but over here on this page, I kind of had like a wild flipping thing. So my Hobonichi, since I said it keeps all parts of my life, it's a visual and written documentation of the moments. That means there's the ugly too, like a lot of really unspeakable things goes in here. My deepest, darkest confessions go in here. And so that's kind of why you don't see me post my spreads on Instagram as much anymore. Also, like I used to do flip throughs on YouTube, but I realized once I started finding myself censoring my thoughts for the sake of public viewing, it didn't feel as authentic anymore. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna enjoy my stationery how I wanted to and not be restricted by the viewership. So maybe one day I will be willing to spend the time to go through the pages and do a flip through, but it is also a lot of work to have to like find all the addresses to censor out, all the names I've mentioned, all the cute pictures of my friends' kids that I have to block, and I don't want to have to keep that out of my daily documenting. So that's why I don't share my Hobonichi spreads as much anymore. And actually, funnily, the one thing that didn't work in my lineup this year, I'll just talk about it straight out, is my Furrier Lab. This was a planner by a Taiwanese artist or creator brand called Furrier Lab. And this is their narrow NARRO planners, and it's B6 size Tomoe River paper, and they are also 1 day 1 page, so kind of like a B6 size daily journal. And originally my intention was like, you know what, let's write the ugly things in here. You know, as you grow as a person, you have all these like anxious thoughts and like nervousness and dark feelings, and I was like, maybe let's keep like, you know, extract that from my Hobonichi and write them here instead of, and then I can just do fun things in the Hobonichi. But that didn't last. Like I found it to be a little bit of an excess to pull those thoughts aside, and kind of like our friend Oh Hi Joy, who shared in her Techo Kaigi earlier, I didn't have that many private, deep, dark, secret thoughts this year. So it was like this, it really wasn't that necessary. So I can't flip through this because I tried at the beginning of the year, so there are some private things in here, but I can safely say I stopped literally by the end of January. I had some things in here, but by the end of January I just stopped using it. I was moving things around, so this whole book is like empty. But I'm not that ashamed of it because I really want to support this artist and brand. So I might just repurpose this, you know, remove those first few pages and then just turn this into something else because it's good paper. It has a very good, it's built really well, that it lies flat. B6 size. I sold the cover because I realized the cover wasn't doing it for me. It was the Superior Labor fake leather cover that I think Joy has, but mine's in green. And I was finding that the texture of that leather cover made me not want to touch it. And so I thought selling it would solve the problem me going into this journal, but it didn't. So this was the only thing I circled it. The only thing that didn't quite work out for me. It was originally meant for personal journaling, mindfulness, mindful practice, stuff like that. Didn't work. So out it goes from this year's system. The next thing that I wanted to talk about that worked for me, moving this Hobonichi aside, is my traveler's notebook. So this year really has been the year of traveler's notebook for me, funnily, even though I've been using it for so long. I have several traveler's notebook, as you guys might know, special editions, actually mostly special editions. I don't have plain ones. Even this olive was the old olive, the good ones. But I really made it a point this year to use what I've been hoarding for these many years. So I went in this year with the limited edition inserts and did not stop after that. Like, all I used were these special edition inserts. I painted the Kurashiki insert. I used the Moomin one someone else gifted me, the TSL one, the Ace Hotel ones, and in this one is I think, oh yeah, the most recent one, the Starbucks Reserve one. And I just switched covers on whims. Like, I was in California, so I switched to the Diner TN. Earlier this year, it was spring. I used the Yudo one, Yudo cover. Let me do a quick eyeball count there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 11 now, but I had 10 Traveler's Notebook covers, and I just kind of rotate them. Like, for example, for my most recent Japan trip, I actually used 2. So I used the Traveler's Train one for the first half of my trip, and I'm gonna fill this insert, which is the Yudo insert. I'm gonna fill this. And my second half of the trip, I used my Kyoto Traveler's Notebook, and I'm gonna fill this insert. So by the end of this year, I would have completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inserts. All special edition, all filled to the brim with overflows. I didn't even say what I was using it for. I was using it for overflows of fun adventures and experiences, weekend outings that sometimes just doesn't fit into a single page of the Hobonichi, if you know what I mean. Like, the A5 Hobonichi has a lot of space, but if I visited a museum in the morning, went to the market in the afternoon, and had dinner at night, that's like 8 photos, and they're gonna fill up a page. So I put like back to the hierarchy, the pyramid. I put my best 3 photos in the Hobonichi, and the sub 4 to 5 photos then goes into the Traveler's Notebook. So, for example, I think I started this year with the TSO. I document them up here, so you can see it's fun little spreads, and I could be really free in however I want to journal. There's no specific styles that I wanted to keep to. Another reason why my Instagram feed doesn't have an aesthetics, because there's no aesthetics, there's just creative freedom. And I just put everything in there, and I could like fill one entire page with urban sketch, fill the entire page with just photos, fill one page with people's signatures, another page with more stickers. But as you can see, like, for example, these are probably a single day's worth of adventure, but they get to go exponentially into a traveler's notebook because it's so freeing. And so this is like earlier this year when I went down to Portland for the Traveler's Diner event at Oblation, and I took a bunch of photos, of course. And I've collected ephemeras too, and met up with friends. Just all that stuff, and like that day alone, endless pages. Didn't even end here. I think it ends here. So that day alone was 7 pages. So that's why I was able to go through a lot of my refills. And funnily, this year when I was in Japan, just like last month, I only bought 1 insert because I knew I had so many inserts that I have accumulated throughout my stationery hobby over the years, and I have enough to go through. I didn't need to get new refills. So it's gonna be really nice to just kind of like look at these two as like individual adventures, and I like showing them to friends, or when we do events for travelers, so people could just flip through my pages. Like sometimes I felt like, yeah, maybe it'd be nice to have an aesthetics and then it would look cool, but then at the same time, I don't want to be bound to a certain way of doing things. So just leave me alone. Like my planners, my journals, the way I document, there's no rules and there's no wrong or right way to do it, as long as you're doing it. So that's why I enjoy the stationery hobby so much, because I get to use my favorite stationery, combine my artistic hobby, urban sketching, doodling, and then just like vomit it all onto my refills. Hello, Max Wright a lot. Hello, Jasmine. Hope you're having fun. So Traveler's Notebook worked out really well for me, and I anticipate the same next year. So that's why it is moving along with me to next year's system. Oh my god, how am I going to put all these on the ground? I guess. Okay, so this year's Traveler's Notebook success, that worked. The cousin worked, the Traveler's Notebook worked, the Furrier Lab doesn't work. What also worked was obviously what I'm holding here, my plotter Bible size. It is the perfect planner size for me. It's not too big. I've been through bound books, A5 size. I've been through A6. I've been through weeks. But really, this personal size, the Bible size, is just perfect for me. And this is the book that I would call a planner because of the monthly functionalities. So you can see here I tabbed the monthly pages of my Bible with the Traveler's Notebook labels inspired by our friend Those With Words, Chelsea, and go check out her journaling videos on her YouTube channel, Those With Words. It's amazing. And so I guess I could show an old one. So yeah, it's got the monthly pages. It's got like my dental constellation, events I'm going to for work and for fun, fun trips, dinner reservations, sometimes there's cookies grooming reservations, Elliot's track schedule. So just kind of like the household agenda for myself, for my dog, for my husband, and with my friends. Like here I wrote recording with Phyllis, Sketcher Fest meeting. So this is what I use as a planner, and my favorite and most functional usage of planners, whatever type, has always been the monthly page, and like that's all I need really. But I did buy the weekly spreads too, in the plotter, also by plotter, the weekly refills. But I use them like I put in only every other, like every 2 to 3 months, so it's not taking up the whole ring, because plotter rings are kind of small, but that's also the good thing about it. And the great thing of having like a dated planner is that you can write more details. So like if I have an appointment, what time, address, what is the cost, stuff like that, I can note that in like the spare spaces. Specific timings to meet, and maybe even some details. And I love using it. This is an empty page, but I love using it to track weekly to-dos, like things I need to get done this week on a personal note, and I just like list it down right here on the right side. Left side schedule works wonderfully. And then in the back, I can do, with the flexibility of the rings, I can just really be completely spontaneous with whatever things I want to write. I don't know why. I just suddenly wrote down a list of things to let go of. And and the next page is postage tips for this year. Some general to-do lists. This is my packing list for my Japan trip. Extra pages. I had switched out a lot of pages for specifically this trip that I went to in Japan. Like I made an itinerary printout down to the half-hour increments. I printed it out on plotter paper, and I think this is why I realized, there are reasons why people love ring planners. But I hate writing on books with big rings because they get in my way, in my hands. So the plotter with the smaller ring is really the perfect, and I feel like the most elegant solution. Not an ad, like real endorsement right here. And then you can even collect stamps, because you can pull the pages out, or like it's just like a flatter surface too. I have like this like 2023 goals. I don't even want to look at it right now. I feel like I failed so many of these. So attempt co-streams, did 0 of those. Update to real ID. Oh well, good thing it was delayed again. So things like that. And I like customizing it like spontaneously. Again, I think the word this year is really spontaneous. I like to put in my favorite postcard, punch holes in them. They recently came out with the fasteners case, so I could actually put some more accessories in here as well. I have my like project managers that I fold and like hold extra pages or things that I need to keep or for reference. And this like the content of this plotter has changed like over 100 times this year, just because of how flexible and flowable it could be. So and the cover too, because I used to use the I used to have the Pueblo brown, but I switched it into the new Licio green that was released this year. But I think there was some times where I was like, I changed it in and out as well. But that's again another fun part of using a ring is, you can be really random, really spontaneous. It still maintains the core part of my planning, which is the monthly pages. Like I cannot live without monthly pages. I check this more frequently than my phone's calendar. And whenever I have something, if I'm out and about and I don't have this with me, I put in my phone calendar, the Google Calendar, and I come back and I write it on my physical planner. And this way, when Elliot asked me like, "Oh, can we do this next Saturday?" and I just like flip to this page and at a glance immediately, "Oh no, you're right. This is the Pueblo beige, not the brown." It got so caramel colored that I mistakenly said it's brown. It's the beige. And so I'm excited to talk about what I want to use next year as a cover, because I just bought one in Japan, but I have to pull it out in a bit. So yeah, the plotter Bible size worked as my planner last year. So yay me. The next one, plotter A5. Okay, I recently just switched it to the Shiranami leather, which is the new leather that Plotter released with the Japan Blue project in September. One of the big projects I got to be a part of. And I love A5 size for work. Whatever book or brand you buy. It's just you just can't go smaller than that in my opinion for work. I love how much space it gives me when I write down notes. I love how sturdy it feels and like you can print out letter size paper and fold it and like put it in here or whatever. It's you really can't go smaller in my opinion or bigger, and A5 is just perfect. And so I've been using the A5 plotters. My old one was a Licio Black that my boss gifted to me back in 2019 November, and I never deviated from that. And I only just switched to a new cover this year. I don't know if I can flip through this, but very similarly, it also has the monthly tabs. Can't live without monthly calendars. Maybe I could show you an earlier month. You kind of like can write things here, to-dos. I wrote my boss's week off, week returns. And I have a lot of notes in this. I can't flip to a busier month because it's for work. But I complement it with, oh my god, I need to show this though. It's so funny. The deadlines, like I just go crazy. Like I don't write out anything, but my work monthly pages like are the messiest pages you can imagine because things move around a lot, but I'm too lazy and in the moment to edit anything, so they just kind of flow around. They just kind of flow around. I just draw lines, draw them back again. And so it's really a hilarious contrast to a lot of the minimalistic planners out there where everything's like meticulous and pretty and stickered and highlighted. It's chaos. Like work is chaos. There's just no way around it. Yeah, and I always only put like just 3 months worth of pages, kind of like just this much in the dated weeklies. This is a layout of my art toolkit colors, so just enough to use for a quarter, and then I move them out once I'm done and I archive them, and then after a year I recycle them. It's really satisfying to not having to like hold on to pages when you use a ring planner. And again, this morning our friend Tokubetsu Memory, Judy, streamed, and she like echoed my sentiments. Like I don't need to remember that I had a meeting on like a certain month of my life with this person. Like they can just go to the trash. It's fine. So like here we did a pen show, and I printed out a guide map of all the booths that's gonna be at the show and the layout. So having this is a great reference when I take it to work or take it to events or take it to meetings and physical trips. I did a lot of work travel this year, and so it felt good to know that like my stuff is like reliably in a journal, in a planner, in a binder, and then I could like take it out and use it professionally. Except I did also use it to make some sample pages to track my K-drama viewings, but that's another story. I did some experimentations too, but most of it really just work related. So that really worked for me, and I really liked it, and I'm gonna stick with the Shiranami blue leather for a while. I really love how it's patinaing. I didn't even use the ring supporter for this one, so it's really just like showing all the ring marks now. Love it so much. So my 2 plotters, A5 and Bible size, follow me till the end of the earth. No. Great planners basically. Alright, so we went through the Die Hard 4 books: Hobonichi Cousin, Traveler's Notebook, Plotter A5, Plotter Bible size. Flurry Lab out. Okay, the two a little bit ambivalent, ambiguous, not so confident about sharing setups. So the first is the Hobonichi weeks. Actually, in 2022, I said I won't use the weeks next year, which is this year, because I honestly just always buy a week and then never found a use for it. But this year they came out with the cafe, and it's like it's meant to be. Like I feel like I bought it because it aligns with my identity, and so I bought it and I tried to make it work. And it started out as a Chinese journal, so I would do collages and just like really write in my mother language and like do some fun spreads like the Chinese, Taiwanese journalers, and it was really fun for a while until I don't do it anymore. And then I decide, you know what, let's just relax and don't give it a meaning and just take it to meetups or put photos that doesn't have space in my Hobonichi. I started journaling in English. I started doing random writings sometimes, sticker labels, English. I turned it into a health planner halfway through the year, writing down my food, writing down my emotions. Philodam says, been thinking about getting a plotter all day. Like, it doesn't have to be a plotter. If you find a system that has a similar layout or like you enjoy using, like the Take a Note is a good option too, for a bound system. But that's like, it's really up to you. I'm not trying to enable anyone here today. I'm just trying to share what worked for me and why I enjoy them. So take it with a grain of salt. It's not like whatever I say you guys have to apply it to your use, but inspirations. Nerdygram says, I have intentions to practice my mother tongue, but always struggle to keep up. Well, I obviously did not keep up. And so this one was like literally we went and like did a bunch of ink samplings. I think I took this to a pen show and I wrote down what we ate and did some ink swatches in there. I think for a week there I took it to Taiwan on a trip and I used it as a reference notebook to jot down what I did in Taiwan. So I still make good use of it. I like write in it. I think at some point it became like an ink tracker for when I go to meetups, because our friends always bring fun inks, and I wanted a book that I can play with, and I really admire Kelly's freedom, my co-host Kelly Love Letters' freedom to use her Tomar River style notebooks. And so this became like a meetup notebook basically. I brought it to Creative Expo and asked artists to stamp and write signatures on it, and then I cut them out and put it in my Hobonichi. Like, look at all the hacked off pages. So you know what? This actually became a commonplace notebook. If anything, it kind of became a commonplace notebook for me. That's compact and easy to carry around. So that was what the week turned out to be. So I wouldn't say it didn't work. It just didn't work for the purpose I wanted to be, but it was a helpful book to hold and have, I guess, in the moment. So that's what happened to my Hobonichi weeks. And finally, last year, I have the Plotter Narrow. Oh my god, it's already 3:20. Do I have time? It took me 40 minutes to go through this year. It's going to take me 40 to go through next year's. My Hobonichi Narrow... my plotter in narrow size. This one actually traveled to someone else's place for a while this year, and I switched it to another one. I put it in a Bible size, meanwhile, the inserts. But it is my finance journal, so I don't think I can share the front page because it has my budgeting, which basically, how do I do my budgeting? So I basically took note of how much I get paid each month. What are some fixed expenses I have to pay, like subscription services, electricity, stuff like that I share with Elliot. And then I created categories. And then I kind of look at, okay, this is what's coming in, this is what's going out. And so what are the space for what's left for either savings or budgeting for a trip like Japan, or what I can spend for fun. And so based on that set approximate amount, I use that as the benchmark for, or a cap for how much I can spend each month. Makes sense and should totally work. If only I kept up with it. The reason why I did not keep up with it is because this year I changed my layout again. I tried a new layout in with the Knox paper. So this is the monthly spread. And then this is the weekly spread. So it basically takes, the left side is like the weeks, the days of the week, and the right side is kind of like memo page, if you will. And I've been using the left side to track daily spendings, and the right side for like notes about that spend specifically. And then it should be easy, right? Because at the end of the week, I just add things up. But like I would like highlight them with the type of spendings, the type of categories, and then add them up at the end of each week. And then I could like do a sum and then like think about, okay, did I go over budget? Then I have to kind of tighten up my pants a little bit towards the end of the month. But then I realized I really don't like writing on the left side of the ring. But this is the most important page to write things on because it has the dates. So because I didn't, for the narrow size, it's a little harder to write on the left side of the page for me personally. So it became harder and harder for me to go back into it just simply because of like preference. So I tried switching, like I was like, oh, what if I start writing on the right side of the page? But then at some point it just kind of was like, I didn't keep up with it. So, and then towards the latter half of the year, I did a lot of traveling, used my credit card a lot. And then there's the guilt of not wanting to face my spendings. And that also, I think, contributes a little bit to why I stopped budgeting or stopped keeping up with my spendings. And obviously, Japan trip. So, all things aside, I like the idea. I think it's important. And I would like to try again next year. So that's why it is migrating to next year's layout. So that was what worked and what kind of didn't work very well and what absolutely did not work. So let's take a look at the right page, the list. So Hobonichi Cousin Avec, still I'm keeping that. Traverse Notebook for overflow. Bible size for personal planning. A5 size for work, for plotter. I am using a new book, not new to me, but I'm coming back to it again. I'm using the Thinking of You book for health tracking because I think it's kind of reiterated through many people's Techo Kaigi streams. Health is becoming an important thing in our lives as we grow older, and I've used the Hobonichi Weeks vigorously for my health tracking before the pandemic, and funnily enough, I stopped. I think before 2019, around 2019 was when my anxiety is like at the highest, at its peak, and so the health tracking really helped. But then I kind of like got better in the past 2 years, but I feel like I'm kind of falling back into it again, so I'm gonna pick up health journaling again. I got another weeks. I don't know why. Damn it, the cover's too cute, but I found the perfect use for it, and a usage that was inspired really by my friends around me having babies and kids. And like actually I pitched the idea to them. I was like, you could get your kid a weeks and just like jot down things about your kid, and then get your kid a week every year, and then by the time they're 12 they're gonna have 12 cute little booklets for them to flip through that doesn't take up a lot of space. And then I thought, oh, I could do that for Cookie. I don't have a kid, but I have my dog. So Cookie's getting a journal for the rest of his life, starting at his cute age 3. He is 3 years old this year. Gotcha day was November, which we forgot again. So he's getting a Hobonichi weeks this year for next year. So technically this doesn't count in my lineup since it's his. Something to think about. And then the water narrow for finance. Do you need the weeks now, Lydia? So Cookie's totally gonna write in it, right? Like, I wrote down in depth like how I'm using the book, so I'm gonna talk through it. I know which pen. Like, I'm not gonna give him my best fountain pens though. Do you need 3? Oh my god, for your 3 babies. What about compiling them in one? Kibbles is take a note. Oh my god, that's so cute. So yeah, I think throughout these days, these 2 weeks, listening to other people's Techo Kaigi stream, thinking a little bit more about what I want to do, I wrote down a few notes about, some more intentions behind the planning and my Techo Kaigi and what I want to aspire to document next year. And I've already decided on my theme for next year, so I'm going to start with that. It's going to be gratitude, because I read and have concluded that gratitude is the answer to anxiety. So whenever I go into a spiral, because guys, I do go into very anxious spirals sometimes. Elliot knows. This maybe a lot of our husband knows, but I get into these crazy panic attacks about the future sometimes. And what I found is that gratitude actually grounds you and helps you. And so I'm gonna maintain that attitude for next year, so I have low expectations and like high performance. Cookie writes with a dip pen only because fancy. Lydia says, I have a TN pass for monthly pet tracking, mostly filled with irregular bowel movement. Oh my god, Lydia! I was about to tell you guys, Cookie's journal is really going to be about his poop schedules, his throw-ups, and all the bad things that he does, so I can talk to the vet about it. So, yeah, very valid. Cookie's journaling. So, yeah. Oh, I'm glad you guys all feel similarly about the talk of anxiety, since that's high on everyone's life list right now. So, anxiousness, panic attacks, feelings of uncertainty, feelings like you can't control things, which led to more despair. Just really, really blossoming stuff we're talking about right here. Gratitude will solve all of it. So that's my approach next year. This year, I felt like, kind of looking back, this year I've really taken a very like pessimistic approach to a lot of the ways I do things, and I always like self-explain by saying, oh, this year I'm selfish. This year I'm feeling this way and I do this thing and I don't do this thing because I'm selfish. And next year I'm gonna be grateful, and that's how it goes. Life is overwhelming sometimes, and if we know it helps ourselves through, that's growth. That's right. Those words. Exactly. Sometimes it's usually the things most outside of our control that we stress out the most about. Cosima and Sonia. So yeah, I was right. I was like taking notes on other people's stream too. Like Connor's stream, he tracks like his like 100 streams, and I was like, oh, I want to track. Like, I want to have like a cool milestone thing too. So I want to also track down the numbers of streams I do. Tracking success, making time for gratefulness, gratitude, kind of taking a page out of Simone's book that rhymed, and I'm very happy about it. She does this thing called Thursday Self-Care 3 Things, and then like on her Instagram, and she just writes down 3 things she's grateful for. So taking a page out of her book, using index for highlights, so that's what I'm going to talk about in my Hobonichi. Next year I want to create more art. This year I'm letting go of my identity as a content creator slash influencer slash social media slash key opinion leader. I am gonna be none of that next year, or feel obligated to be none of any of that next year, and I'm gonna focus on what I want to do for fun next year. So so if I do anything, it's because I want to do it for fun, and not because I want for clicks, nor because I want followers, nor because I want to get paid for it. So I want to just do fun art things next year. Ooh, I want to be better at Japanese for potential more trips to Japan. Focusing a little bit more on my career and self-growth. I have the certificate I've been wanting to get this year, and I kept putting it off. So next year for sure. Confronting fear and anxiety, mindfulness and health. Yep, big things on my list for this coming year. And then finally, I spent a lot of time this year on K-drama and K-pop and K-variety, and I want to like properly acknowledge the time of my life it took from like that they took from me. So I'm gonna document, not in detail, but just kind of like, okay, this part of the month I dove into this K-drama and I resurfaced how many days later, that kind of stuff. So media and movies consumed. Everyone take a drink of your water. I feel very parched. Proceeds to drink caffeine at 3:30. Little break. I have 30 minutes to talk about my Techo Kaigi until I have to raid Michael. Damn it! but calm down. I thought we can do it. The reflection was the important part anyway. Penguin speed. I'm feeling very like Job right now, because remember last year Job's journal did his Techo Kaigi in 30 minutes because he didn't realize he had an hour. It was the most frantic and hilarious Techo Kaigi I've ever watched, and I loved every moment of it. That was the best. That was really fun. He was like out of breath, like he was running. It was so funny. And everyone's like, Job, why? Why are you light speeding through this? Alright. Took a big gulp, and I'm ready to dive in. So yeah. No, Broken Hill, I'm not gonna get anxiety. This is chill for me. This is really fun. So first thing, my Hobonichi cousin, super excited to show you guys because I already pre-decorated my Hobonichi cousin. So it was one anxiety-filled night, and I decided to have some fun, and I pre-decorated my cousin Avec. Yay! It was so good. Filled with all the fun things. I love Cookie's face, my dog's face, just like featured on the cover. So I am using the Hobonichi again for next year for my journaling, and I was able to pick up a few empty A5 covers, which fits perfectly for these Cousin of X, so that my stickered cover page could be properly protected. So I'm gonna put that in right now. No naked men stickers. I wasn't bold enough to partake in that pleasant purchase exchange. It was a little too much. It was too much flesh. It reminded me too much of... Oh, no, just kidding. I'm not going to talk about that. Reminded me of Attack of Titan. So, yay! And I'm really excited to move into the new cover that I bought for it next year, which is right here. Something bright and sunny. Shout out Judy. Bright and sunny and so gorgeous. The Mina Perhonen. Totally forgot the name of this cover, but whatever. It's so nice. And I love starting the year with a zip cover because it's usually the only time my Hobonichi fits into a zip cover. So that's why I indulge in zip covers usually at the beginning of the year. And plus, it's like this one has like a plush cozy. Oh, it's so good. It's like this like nice pastel yellow with like the perfect embroidery on it. Like these judgmental cats are just chef's kiss, and plus the winter is like really cold, so this makes it feel cozy and nice. Animals and birds on yellow fabric with weird dots in the middle cover. It's so good. And it's like bright blue, baby blue inside. So I am so excited to begin the journey on my next year's daily journal in the Hobonichi in this new cover. And you know I'm gonna fill it up because usually, especially like I feel like my power up moments in my journal as is with everyone is usually the beginning of the year, near my birthday or cherry blossom season, and then summer for me, but not July. Sometimes July I perk up a little bit, but this year it was weird. This year I went down in July. And then Christmas season I also perk up again. So those are like my Mario perk power up moments in my Hobonichi journal. So actually I do with the fabric covers though, I am gonna spray some of that oh man, the word evaded me. I haven't used that word in a year and a half. But the fabric thing protector that you get at Joann's to kind of protect the cover a little bit. So I'm gonna spray that on this one at some point. Hobonichi, Traverse Notebook. I am moving into the new Scotch Guard. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Planner Grandma. You know what I'm talking about. Scotch Guard this. Traverse Notebook. I got a new Traverse Notebook. I'm getting two actually. A customized one from the Superior Labor, but that one's not coming to me till later this year because when I was there, the person that customizes it for you is out on vacation, so they didn't have it done until like this week. And then they're shipping it to my friend Esther in Japan, and Esther's gonna like wait till all my stuff gets there. Like I have this other Superior Labor bag, and so she's gonna ship it to me by the end of this year. But I threw that was weird. But through Polly, my friend, I asked her to help me get the Chichu Museum cover, which is my first black TN regular size. And I'm gonna just go in again, no hoarding, and use the limited edition refill for it, starting last week. Because I went to the Hokusai Museum last week and I want to document it. So really excited to break into this TN and have it earn character. And then maybe by next year, like January, when I receive the package, I will switch into the Superior Labor one, maybe. But Traverse Notebook for adventure overflow, for journaling, and scrapbooking. Oh, and I totally forgot to talk a little bit about how I'm using the Hobonichi, and I'm just gonna go through it really quickly. So, rewind. So I'm using Hobonichi next year. And one thing that something new that I add. I'm gonna obviously use the daily pages for daily journaling. For the weeklies, I totally forgot to show you guys, but usually my weeklies contain fun memory references like this. I literally note down food I ate, things I did in quick little highlights throughout the week. And so if I end up missing some pages, I can like refer to this weekly spread to fill them up or catch up. And I just enjoy decorating. This is my Momo Loves paper, but on a Hobonichi basically. I love just using my bits and pieces and scraps of stationery stuff and washi tape to just deck it all out. And the Himekuri really helped a lot this year too in filling up the spaces. So I use the weeklies for that. The only thing I haven't been using in my Hobonichi is the freaking monthlies. Oh my goodness, I just cannot. Like when there's no planner functionality in the monthlies, I don't know how to use them. I've seen people do like daily pictures and they fill up the whole book. It looks really cute. I used to do daily doodles, but then I got lazy. So I have a new use. Remember I said I wanted to write about my media that I'm consuming, K-drama I'm watching, how many days it took me to blow through this new K-drama. I'm going to start using the monthly to document that. So I could like write start, Nine Wolf Tale here, and then end, plunge into Pluto here, finished it on Netflix, started the Pluto manga, finished the Pluto manga, you know, stuff like that. So that there's some degree of timeline to the media consumed. And then I could look back and be like, oh yeah, no, I wrote nothing in May because I was spending all my time watching this show and then stuff like that, rather than putting it in my everyday page. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then finally for the index pages, which I've typically used for currently inked. So I use the yearly overview to write down currently inked pens and the ink color. And then whenever some ink goes out and comes into this into the rotation, I add them. And I found that I rarely go beyond, I guess, these two spreads. So it's like totally enough for me. And I also write down like dates when I update them, but not so much here. So I'm gonna keep doing that. But you'll notice that, you know, the yearly section has basically two parts. So there's like January to June for this half, and then there's like July to December. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the ink swatching on the July to December, which is not part of this book. But for January and to June, I'm gonna do something new. This kind of calls back to that problem I had, which is I have trouble kind of recognizing big milestones or cool stuff that happened in this book this year, and I flip back and find them spontaneously. But what if I use this yearly index to write down big events like next year, California Pen Show? So if I 2 years down the road come back to this book, I actually don't flip to the daily page first. I actually come to the index page and look at the cliff notes of the year. Oh, I was at California Pen Show. Oh, I went to San Diego, you know, or like, oh, this is when Elliot got another stupid Porsche car part, you know, like, so I could use this as the index cliff note of my journal, and then I could like actually go to that specific day. Like if there's something really fun here, like got this special thing for my birthday, then I will know first thing to flip to April 29th for that fun thing, you know, something like that. Michael says, binge watching is a serious health indicator for me. Putting it on a calendar would be so much more helpful. Nice. Yeah. That's what I thought as well. So that's my plan for this index page. And I think I have to thank Judy again, like on one of her rambles in her streams, because she does that. It kind of gave me the idea because she was like not knowing what to do with index pages. And I'm like, oh. And I think also like some conversations with Kelly too. And then on the my 100, so what I used to do was my 100 was part of my gratitude tracking or milestone tracking, and I was gonna write down 100 achievements and cool things. So I've been writing down like live demo with our toolkit, got my Grail pen, library workshop about my journal. So this is kind of what I envisioned for the index page, but with a timeline. So this 100 now is going to be obsolete, and I'm actually going to use this to write down the dates of my stream, so I will know when I reach my 100 stream for 2024. So stealing Connor's idea and putting in my book. So I feel very good about my plans for Hobonichi next year. Hobonichi, Traverse Notebook, plotter Bible size. No different. I already got my refills for next year. Weekly, monthly, the two most important page types I'll need. And then again, I'm going to tab it all up like this. And I'll just switch out the inserts. Put some blue paper in there. I use my favorite letterpress one sometimes. So it doesn't really change how I'm using it. But I'm going to try to use a new cover. So I bought a special edition Itoya Bible size cover in Japan. And for funsies, I'm going to switch into it for 2024. So I'm going to do the ceremony, the switching ceremony at the end of this year. And I'm going to wear in this pink one a little bit. Because I had a lot of fun time with my show green. You can see it's like really patinaed. So I thought it'd be fun to do something bright and cheerful and pink for next year. So I was really happy about the spontaneous purchase. Oh my god, the word spontaneous keeps coming up. I'm really feeling funny about that. Sakura color! Yes, exactly. So I'm really excited about my plot revival. Again, monthly planning schedule, weekly data notes and to-dos, miscellaneous pages, and more importantly, I was gonna, like I said, I really want to get that certificate next year. I take it through Coursera, so I'm going to track my class progress and make some like goals or like how progress tracker basically. Hopefully making it an analog thing will make it more of an incentive for me to do it. Like, you know, those things where like you go to the gym and you put a sticker and you feel happy, so you want to collect more stickers, so you go to the gym more, something like that. I'm going to document my birthdays and my friends' birthdays more diligently next year. Oh my god, that's a big thing this year, which is why I've been saying I've been very selfish, is that I acknowledged no one's birthday this year except my own. I feel so bad. Like, I just keep forgetting and like passing by everyone's birthday except my own. Like, I even forgot my mom's birthday. That's just how bad it is. Hello, La Maribel. New here. So glad you found this channel. Welcome. I'm at the end of my Techo Kaigi, but don't worry. Lots of fun content you can watch in the future or in the VOD or on my YouTube channel under the same name, as well as our friends. Morgan, thanks for making me feel even worse. But yeah, things like that. They're the day before yours, day after yours. That's nice. So, anniversaries, special milestones, birthdays. I'm gonna like do a thing where I write it in my Bible size monthly at the beginning of the year. Just like make sure I get that down. And obviously, I think adding it to my Google Calendar really helps. So I'm gonna do that too. Plotter A5. My work planner is still gonna be a Plotter A5. Nothing's gonna change. I already have the monthly pages for it, which is the page I use the most. But I am actually not going to be using the dated refills for the weekly, because I realize on like busy weeks I write a lot, and on non-busy weeks I write very little. So I'm actually going to make it a little bit of a spontaneous page thing. And I like drawing layouts, so I will be more free with my weekly note taking. So if it takes a few pages, then so be it. If it only takes one, then that's perfect. So I'm going to use my blue refills, my grid refills, my random pages. Joyce says, me and my brother have the same birthday, so one less for me to remember. Oh my gosh. So work planner stays the same. So these are my 4 core journals and planners for next year, which I'm really excited about. All right, something new here. Oh, I totally forgot to talk about this. Sorry, backtrack. I keep missing out, but people watching this vlog is gonna be very confused. But something new I added to my Traverse Notebook lineup is I decided to get a monthly refill, and I also decorated it because anxious April on a sad night. I decided to add a monthly view to my Traverse Notebook because for the exact reason so this goes on through the entire year. So how nice would it be if I can have a index monthly to look at, to kind of benchmark which refill it's in, what was in that refill, stuff like that. Because like this doesn't necessarily follow a dated, like sometimes it skips a week, sometimes it like, you know, 10 pages per day for a day. So I can use this monthly as a reference page to keep track of all the free refills that goes with it, and you know it's not going to add too much. So my notebooks are always going to be the main refill and the monthly refill, and I can decorate it for fun, like Momo loves paper. a reoccurring theme. We all just want to be like Momo loves paper. So that was my Traverse Notebook. Sorry for the detour. Thank you for following, Guaf M. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Thinking of You. This is my new book that I'm trying to do this year. First of all, Mr. Eggplant outdid herself. She made Thinking of You for 2024 a Y2K retro 90s baby theme, and I had to get it. It's so cute. Tomoe River paper, A5 size, plenty of space, and I feel like the Hobonichi Weeks is too small for my purpose for health tracking, and so the A5 is going to work perfectly. I hold zero responsibility for enabling. I'm not trying to get you to get one. You probably can't even because they probably sold out. But it has like a little monthly calendar, has the bigger monthly calendar, and it has like weeklies in these kind of like irregular intervals. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write down my gym visits because health is a big priority for my life next year. Elliot and I both agree we've been very blessed to have all the things that we have right now, and the last thing is to just really keep up with my health. And so I have a few dental visits lined up for early next year, my annual exams, and really just on this mission to be more fit. As I learned in this trip to Japan, like I had to train for a month and a half to not like have painful feet the whole time. And so we both bought, Ellie and I both bought a year-long membership at our local gym, and I'm gonna try to take some personal trainer sessions too, and just like regular keeping up with my steps. And so this section, weekly section, is gonna be for like some random notes. Maybe if I do some extra activities or stuff like that, or reps for on certain machines on the gym, I can record it without like it's not too much space to fill in, yet it's still good enough. I can use it for special recipes. And I can't wait to do the collect a sticker for each gym visit I go thing, which I did this year. Right before my Japan trip, I used the back of my Hobonichi to basically create it like a went to the gym, get a stamp, and wrote down my progress kind of thing. So it felt really nice to like collect the stamps for each visit. So I'm gonna repeat that here. So on days I go to the gym, I'll get a cute stamp imprint and then write down like my calories and stuff. And so I'm gonna enjoy using that. Thank you for following Celestial Journal, and thank you for following the Devonverse. Welcome to the stream. Stationary motivation, yes, to get fit for a new trip. At Marksville, you didn't get a thinking of you. Yeah, mindfulness practice is another thing, like again related to the anxiety thing and stress. I wanna take some tips from Amy from Life of Lily Coe, because she said it's really been a big part of her journey this year. So I already subscribed to her Substacks. So if you guys go check out Life of Lily Coe on Instagram and get her link to her Substack, I'm really looking forward to reading her posts about mindfulness. No, Meladralu, it's my own stamp. It's my own Everyday Explorer stamp. That's about going to the gym. So I collected it for myself. I made the game. I gamified going to the gym so that I would go to the gym. So that's gonna be my thinking of you. Plotter first. So plotter narrow. I actually wrote down the wrong thing. So plotter narrow, I'm gonna continue using it next year. Except we're gonna try a new layout for Knox again. This time it is a similar situation where the days of the week is on the left side, but big note spaces on the right side. So it's gonna hopefully be easier for me to just track. So here's what's happening here. The right page, I really like writing. I decided the solution to me not writing on the left side is to write on the left side. But these lines are kind of limiting how many lines I can write. So I'm going to get one where it's empty. It's like just a grid page on the right side. And then just kind of line them based on category too. So it's just easier. And then I can like put big notes on the left side. So we're going to give this another go next year, Finance Planner, with the Knox Weekly. And finally, wait, no. I just read my note. I just read my note. I remember why I also got the weeklies. This is the most unorganized Techo Kaigi ever. I may have to just refilm this for YouTube. But whatever. To make it fun, again, to incentivize me to use this planner a little bit more, I'm going to incorporate some wish list elements to my finance budgeting journal so that I could make plans for shopping. So hopefully the flexibility of the rings will allow me to slide in some random pages for wish lists. And one thing I really want to track next year, again, year of gratitude and appreciating all the good friends I have who send me happy mail. I'm actually going to use this to track happy mails that come in and out. And so this page now is a free grid page on the left side. So I'm going to write down who sent me, like which day, like on the days, I'll keep track of who sent me a postcard or who sent me happy mail. And then kind of as a way to remind myself to write back or something like that. Or days that I send someone happy mail and what I actually sent, because that's usually the problem. I sent someone something and I forgot what I sent them. So the expense now is going to be on the right side, and the left side is going to be happy mail or general mail tracker. So giving it a little bit more purpose hopefully will incentivize me to be more good about tracking the important things. Finally, with 1 minute to go, sorry Michael, I'm gonna be a little late. Hobonichi weeks, kanahe! Ah! How can I not? Ah! Sorry, I'm screaming. It's so cute. Each year I thought I'm not getting another weeks. Each year I thought I'm done with weeks. They just come out with extremely cute things to sabotage me, like, so I had to get it. It's Kanahe, my favorite character duel with the chick on top of a forest of cherry blossoms. How can I not? And so if you open it, it's like this refreshing underseas scape. And then at the end, it's like this beautiful, cozy winter. Put it next to your plotter cover. Okay, I will. Oh no, not this one. The other one. So you guessed it, guys. I'm going really pink next year. This one. So Cookie gets a cute weeks, and I also get a cute plotter. Matches my mat too. I know everything is just kawaii for me next year. I'm just gonna leave this out. I'm not gonna put it back. So Cookie gets a weeks. Like I said, my friend's kid is gonna get a week every year, and Cookies is now gonna get a weeks every year too, because I take 1,000 photos of Cookies on my phone of the same pose, and I print them out sometimes. And they go into my Hobonichi and stuff, but wouldn't it be cute if I like fill in like these pages? Sometimes these empty pages with just like photos of Cookie throughout the year in different haircuts and different sentiments and different conditions. And of course, I already went into it, but I tracked when Cookie throws up. he threw up this week. And then a little bit about his condition or why he threw up, stuff like that. And then like writing about the recent doggy virus, educating myself a little bit. But Cookie's a busy boy, okay? He has grooming class, he has grooming sessions. He needs to take these flea medicines on a monthly basis. He has training. This boy is getting trained next year. He's a determined finger right here. He's getting trained next year. We got him a new crate. He's gonna get crate trained. He's gonna have actual training sessions. He gets stamps too for progress for when he goes to his training classes. He has a busy schedule, so I'm gonna write this down. And then like all the extra pages is just gonna be a cute Cookie photo album throughout the year. And then imagine like this is Cookie on his 4th year, and then the next one the 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, like all the way till he pass. That's kind of dark. But yeah, Cookie's grooming, simpatico trio schedule, which is his flea medicine, his classes, his health condition, notes from the doctor, when his vaccines are due, when he gets his rabies shots, play dates with friends, and documenting his life forever. That's my cliff note for Cookie's journal, and all in the cute weeks that I really like. So, and this one actually, this might live sometimes downstairs by his medicine tray, so I will remember to write things down. But I'm enjoying it already so far, and I know Cookie will be happy about it too. He doesn't know it, but he's getting tracked. His favorite toys and treats. It'd be so cute to document all the toys that he gets. I take so many photos of him and his toys. So yeah, that's my Techo Kaigi for 2024. 7 notebooks, 2 planners, 5 journals. I guess Cookies could be considered a planner too. So 2 planners for me, a planner for Cookie, and then 4 notebooks and journals type things. So there. It's still 7. If I had time, originally my plan was to show you guys these 7 calendars. It's like the 7 gods that crosses the seas. It's always 7. But I was gonna go through my calendar, Kaiki. Especially since I was super excited about this one because it really ties into my gratitude theme. I'm just gonna talk about it real quick, but I also, just a sneak peek, I have the eggplant one, the Mizutama, my cream soda calendar that shows different cream sodas every week. I'm so excited for that. My Suica, my Midori Asano aesthetics, and then this unexpected calendar I got from Soso because I shopped too much when I was in Japan, and then my amazing Natsuka Murata Shiba Inu calendar. But quick last note. Sorry, Michael. We'll raid you soon. This is the new calendar that I got. Unexpected because Eleanor just wants my money. But she designed this amazing kind of like desk calendar. And it has, like, I support Eleanor and all her artistic endeavors. Personally, also because I just love her style. So she compiled 52 of her favorite sketches and turned them into a weekly planner. Undated! Which means I could start tomorrow. Next week. So this is gonna be a little cute wherever my desk is. Maybe this desk, maybe the other desk, but this is gonna go into my daily gratitude practice. So every day I'm gonna write down something I'm grateful for. I'm gonna write down something I'm grateful for every day of the week, starting next week, and at the same time enjoy her art as I go through. And that gratefulness is gonna be tied into my anxiety. No, just kidding. It's gonna help combat and help me think more intentionally about milestones. So this is gonna be a daily thing. Like, even if I didn't have time to write in my Hobonichi, I will write in this. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep this by my bedside table so that I write down one thing I'm grateful for every day before I went to bed. So that is the goal. 52 weeks of gratefulness, of gratitude. 7-day planner with art by Eleanor Dowdy, Herb Coil on Instagram. IG shout out Herb Coil. Support her. And I was thinking to myself, if I ever make a planner, I want to make something like this. This is so cute. This is so cute. This is so cute. And I'm not going to spoil myself with the art because I really want to just enjoy them as they come. So this calendar and the melon soda calendar is my two most exciting calendar for next year. So this one I'm gonna keep at my stationery table just so I can enjoy the imagery of a new melon soda each week. And this one I'm gonna keep by my bedside table so I can journal about my gratitude each day. So I guess that makes it 8 either. Yeah, it's 7 because cookies don't count. I love this process every year because everyone just like puts so much thought into their journals and their stationery items. And I feel like it just warms me to see that people are enjoying the hobby. And I really hate when people feel guilt or shame about owning stationery unless it's really excessive, but I'm not going to judge you for it because it's your money. You do what you want. So I'll just go over my calendar meanwhile. If you guys want to hang around a little bit or if you want to go by over, that's totally fine. But I shall show you my calendars. So I talked about the 52 weeks. And this is an amazing calendar that I discovered at Kinokuniya by Tabi Surukisa, which I already used to follow on Twitch and now used to follow on Twitter and now I follow on Threads. And it's a weekly calendar. And basically he is like the connoisseur, a melon soda sour, a sommelier of cream soda. Not just melon, because he basically either, I don't know if he goes there and eat it or he makes them, but he comes up with these beautiful shots of cream soda, blue, green, purple, yellow, whatever color, and just like has his whole aesthetics around it. And it's a weekly calendar, so you can like write down. You can use it to write. I don't write on these calendars. They're just for looks. So I'm gonna use this on my desk. So it's really fun to reference. And this year, you guys might know that I use a inspirational tearaway daily calendar called Rise Above from Katie. Oh my God, I forgot the name. But it's like a daily tearaway calendar that I kept by my work desk to motivate me at work. But I found that at work I really need to reference a full monthly calendar a lot, and so I decided to use the Thinking of You calendar, which I received as part of my package with the Thinking of You book because I bought it as a set. So I'm just going to keep this small calendar. It doesn't take up as much space on my work desk, and it's just going to be like a reference calendar for my work desk. So it's going to be very helpful. Just a little calendar for each desk. For funsies though, I'm going to have the Mizutama 2024 Smile Coaster calendar. And the purpose is that I could like collage with the ephemera. It's just going to be a cute tearaway calendar I can put on my desk and just kind of like use every day. So this is going to be super cute. And since I didn't get the Himekuri this year, this is going to be my fun stationery calendar basically. And downstairs in the kitchen where I write down little, or actually on the mantle, more likely on the mantle or like by the living room, I'm gonna have this penguin, the Suika, the Chiharu Sakazaki-san's penguin calendar on the mantles as a decoration. It's so cute. It's just like every month he has a different theme. So it's gonna look really cute. Right now on my mantle, it has the Herb Coil Eleanor's urban sketching calendar, and it's more for looks as well. But I don't think she made one. So I'm gonna use this one instead. I have a IKEA pegboard right in front of me where I peg cute postcards, but I'm also gonna peg Midori Asano's calendar. These are like individual sheets. They look like this, individual sheets, and they just look good. And I've been using them. This is gonna be the 4th year in a row, so I just continue with it as tradition. And then finally, in the kitchen, I put a bigger calendar, so we could put in important notes and dates for the in-laws when they visit. So this calendar is this really cute Natsuka Murata calendar with amazing illustrations of Shiba Inus and food. Perfect for the kitchen, and the good thing is it has a lot of space for the monthly view, and we just magnet it to the fridge. Like open it and just use magnets to secure it. And then this one I can write down little specific notes and memos and stuff for the in-laws, or also write down like grocery, like need to pick up this thing at the grocery next week or something like that, or we're out of aluminum foil, things like that. So this is the kitchen calendar. And then finally we got this gorgeous So calendar, 20th anniversary, got it in Kyoto, shopped too much, and they gave me a free calendar. It's super amazing. It's so aesthetics. I'm thinking I might put it in the bedroom just because of how nice it looks, or in the guest room maybe. So just to show you guys, it has like beautiful patterns from So, and it's just like a nice vibe and aesthetics. So it's like this is kind of like the extra calendar I got that was unplanned. So yeah, maybe I'll go into the guest room as part of the decor. I'm gonna, oh, he just went live again. But I'm gonna rate really fast. If we drop, we drop. If not, thanks again for hanging out with me and enjoying Techo Kaigi. I've enjoyed it this entire day, and really happy to share how I use my journals and stationery with you guys. So thanks again, and let's head on over. I don't have any. I do have one rate message. I'll just use this one. It's fine. Have fun and have a good weekend, guys. Bye.